Hello, I had a look at your video. Thanks so much for doing the response, and I'm so glad that you gave it a try, even though you knew you had less space than it was ideal. So you asked for some tips about how to do floor level leg straddle waves, and yeah, I think this is a good way to actually practice being more aware of the hips and what you're doing with your legs. So, as you rightly mentioned, it is a hip-initiated movement. And a lot of times what happens in class is that people pay so much attention to the legs themselves. So they end up bending them a lot more than they need to, when actually what you need is actually an extension and a micro bend of the knees. And everything really just gets started from the hips. So you're actually, from the floor, you're actually doing a lot of pulling up of the hips one after the other to initiate the leg waves. So if I were to demonstrate this with my arms, and imagine this in my hips, I would actually have my legs lengthened, not totally straight, not very bent either. You're going to have this kind of idea of the movement. So you can see that the torso is actually squeezing, and imagine that the hips, these are the hips being brought up and down, closer or further away from your ears, just imagine. So if I were to do this on the floor, this is what it looks like. So you have an angle from your video, which I saw as well here. Okay. Now here's a stylistic thing that you might want to try, is to sickle your foot. Okay, it's sickle your foot. And so what you do, you unfurl, you here, sickle, bend the knee slightly, and you have this interesting illusion. Okay. So at an angle here, you're going to crunch your hips to pull the legs out. So I'm going to keep my legs straight first, so you can just try it. Bend. Just going to do this movement. These are straight legs. So notice I'm just using my hips, my waist to bring my hips up and down. Now every time you pull your hip towards your ear, you're going to bend the knee very slightly. And I'm going to try sickling my feet. So this is a workout in itself. So give it a go. Let me know if that helps. And just remember that you don't need to bend your knee all that much. Micro bends are enough. So now I'll show you leg waves on your back. It's just this movement on the floor with the legs directly in front of you. So what you can think about is this resistance. Imagine that you're in water and you're just lifting your arms this way. So water's going to offer you resistance, yes? So it's going to resist your feet. So you have this motion with your legs. And now adding the hip motion. Then you've got that extra wavy thing happening. I'm going to show you from two views, one from the side and one from the front. And yeah, you'll see what happens to the hips that will help you with that illusion. Let's try. So here, on the back. So again, so this is just normal scissor kicks, yes? So these are legs straight and pointing. Now, every time I pull the knee to me, and I'm going to twist my hips. You see that? Twist. So I'm twisting to bring my leg towards me, and I'm straightening to push it away. And I reverse. So notice that you don't want to bend too much. Then you get cycling. We don't want cycling, we want seaweed. So hips. Hips. Now I'm going to show you from the front. Here. So you see, I've got my hips going. And that's for the front leg waves. For shoulder stands, it's going to be a bit different. You have the hips pushing and the feet are going to be, the backs of your knees, imagine the back of your knees, is going to be somewhat pointing at the ceiling, and you're just going to have this kind of movement. Again, the hips will be lifting them to initiate movement. So let me try and demonstrate that. So I've got my knees towards the floor, and I'm just going to go up and down first. Okay? Then you're going to go push